In this video we are going to change the brake pads on the front of our Nissan Navara, the old workhorse. Shh, don't tell anyone, come on, have a look at this. We've done the other side so that we can look good. But look, that one wasn't too bad. That was one of the pads. This other one, look, I think we got our value for money out of that badger. Yeah, oopsie, my bad, naughty. Right, so your car will start to make funny noises. Interestingly, on the Nissan, there's no brake pad warning light like we have on the Range Rovers. I guess they're a more lower class vehicle, but you've probably got a Nissan if you're watching this. Right, so we have jacked it up. We are going to take the wheel off, and we will join you when we've got the wheel off, and we'll have it on an axle stand for safety. Right, the tools you'll need. You need a wheel brace to get your wheel off. We've used the impact driver. You will need a 14mm socket. There's only one nut to undo in this whole thing. We have some little hammers in case we had a bit of knocking wood. We had a little file for doing some cleaning. We had a couple of little wedges just to lever stuff out. These were quite useful for pushing the brake caliper pistons back in. You can get caliper winders, but these did the job. And they're cheap. A wire brush for cleaning and a torch for seeing what you're doing. All right, let's get started. And of course, you will need some new brake pads. We're using this. The guy at the shop, the Motor Factors, told us there are two types. We had to do a lookup on our chassis number. Cable tie's handy for holding up the brake caliper. Right, let's get started. Right, so we're going to undo this caliper slider bolt at the top, 14mm. We're using 12-sided. If you've got 6-sided sockets, it's better because there's less chance of rounding it. But there you go, they're not too tight. Okay, so, and what this will enable us to do is to pivot down the caliper in theory. Right, so there's the bolt we're taking out. Put that safe. Now apparently, we did this on the other side. You'll be able to just pull that out, look. And then you can see, now the brake hose is causing us not to be able to do it. So I'm going to turn the wheel, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take the caliper. The caliper will actually then slide off, and we'll cable tie it up out the way because you don't want to stress this hose. Right, so now you've got it, you've got to get this corner clear here. The whole lot will just push back. And notice that side comes out with the slider, nice and greased up. So let me just thread this through here. Where did you cable tie it up to, Destiny?
I had it up around here.
Just round the whole upper arm.
Yeah. I mean, hold it.
Off that. Clip that on. Oh, yeah, he's just got him. There we go. So no hose was stressed in the making of this video. Right. So now I'm going to spin the wheel back the other way so you can see what we're doing a bit more. Right, so there we go. So we've got to get these brake pads out, what's left of them. Now, there'll be some little sort of backing pieces. So we'll just take, there's a couple of these, isn't there? So that's what you've got. So this is the front, remember? So that's the first bit. Now, the second bit is on here. Sometimes it's stuck on. You'll see with the new pads, it comes stuck on. So I think there's, there we go. So these are the sort of anti-squeal bit. So that's off the front. Now we've got to get the pad itself out. Now there's probably a professional way of doing this, but we are just gonna. I don't want to damage the disc. I'm not too worried about damaging the pad. Let me try at the bottom. Like. He's coming. My discs aren't in the best shape, but we'll ignore that. Right, so you'll fight him out, okay? And there we go, and you can see he's pretty worn. He's pretty heinously worn. But then notice this spring here is at the bottom, okay? So when you're putting them back in, make sure you get this spring assembly. And what it's doing is it's always pushing the brake pad up to the top, because when you brake, they get forced up to the top. So I guess that's to stop it rattling about. Right, so same routine on the back. There should be 2 plates to come off, but notice they're different. Notice this one here is the front and this is the rear. So the front, as you're looking at it, as you're working on it, has got these extra tabs on it. And this one's much squarer. Now, have I got both bits there?
Yeah, both bits
have come off
together.
Right, so let me see if I can. I'm trying not to touch the disc if I can. It's easier on this side. But I think you've got to take it out reasonably square. You don't want to get it too twisted. Right, let's have a look how... Oh, look, he's got some left, look. I could have got another few miles out of him. Right, now, obviously, if your discs are mashed, now, these, if I was a garage, I would probably be recommending a customer put new discs on. But we are not going to bother, because he's still not worn through. We'll get some life. So, what we'll do now is we'll just clean up everything, and we've got to make sure we've got... Now, interestingly, there is a metal clip here. You'll see it if I clean it up. You see this shiny metal bit, and that runs across the front there. But in our kit of new brakes, we didn't get a new one of these. So, and to be fair, it's not worn out, but make sure you give that all a good clean. Give your discs a clean. On the same, see there's one on the top there as well. Right, we'll get that all cleaned up and join you again. Right, so remember you've got to have the front one, well the springs on both sides, this springy bit here has got to be at the bottom. So this is going to be my front pad. Right, then we've got to put on this sort of anti-squealy bit. Now it's got a little, I don't know what yours will be like, I don't know if it's a better or worse, but it's got a bit that says, if you can read it there, it says peel removed self-adhesive. Right, so I might have to take my gloves off to get this. Right, here we go. Right, so that's got to go over this. Let's get it the right way so that you can see it's, I think it should be foolproof. Let's hope so. Right there. Right, that's all good. Right, and then we can put this one over as well. Follow the arch of that, and it should stay in. Okay, right, and then that is going to go in the front here with the thing at the bottom. So you've got to be careful you don't get this springy bit underneath that. It's got to go on top. Can you see from the front there? Yeah. So let's make sure we ease there. I'll get that top one in. It takes a bit of fiddling to get in. There you go. Now you might go in. Now I don't know if this is naughty or not, but we're going to give it a gentle tap with a bit of wood, just to make sure he goes. That's it. Right, I go. That's that side. Same deal at the back. We won't film the back, but you've just got to make sure the one that. Well, here, we'll have a quick go. Right, so we've got exactly the same thing. Right, we've got to peel off backing on one side, peel off the sticky backing. Stick him onto there. Okay. Put the metal plate over. Okay. Right, so obviously, yeah, your spring is at the bottom, and again, you've got to be careful to make sure you get the spring. Give it, oh, he's got some dirt in there. You should see that shiny bit. You want him over that shiny bit at the bottom. In around the thing. And when it's resting in there, just gently. Right, now one. Right, so what we've got to do, so we're all ready to go now. So we're going to unhook the caliper, we're going to spin the wheel back. But when we push, we've got to push the pistons back in. And we've got to watch the fluid level. So let's go and look at the brake fluid reservoir. If your brake fluid reservoir is super full, be careful, because as you push the fluid back from the piston, it's got to go somewhere and it will come all the way back into the reservoir and is at risk of overflowing your reservoir. So just keep an eye on your reservoir level, and you may have to use a syringe to take it out. But let's see how we'll do. We'll do one piston at a time. Right, let's grab this caliper off here. Okay, right then. Okay. Right, I'm going to slide that bottom. What's the little rubber bellows? Right, get him in. Oh, I'm going to need a bit more. Going to need a bit more turn on the wheel. Right, so let's have a look. We got that. Right, and we can get that all the way in. Right, now, you see, it can't go up because this piston is sticking out too far. Oh, oh. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these water pump pliers over the back there and give it a squeeze against the back. And there you go. You can see now. You see the top pistons coming out a bit, but don't stress too much about that at this stage. Right, now let's have a look. I've just got to put that heat shield that popped out. Pop him back on. So, and now we should better get it. Now we won't be able to get it in because of the second one. I'm just watching that rubber seal there. But let's get that over there if we can. He's still catching. I don't want him to damage that front shim. There we go. Right, but now it's stopped on the top one. But now we can do the top one. And again, we'll probably go and check the reservoir in a second. Okay, and then let's do that top one. Because it can't push the bottom one out now because the bottom one's jammed. Okay. Right. Check that's all good. There you go. Right, and then we just got to line this up here. Push that little bellow in there. Get that lined up. God. Right, I'm sure people are going to tell us we violated all sorts of master craftsman techniques here. Right, 14mm socket. Let's do that up. Right. There we go. Right, so we are all done up. We're all ready to go. We've got all our shims in. Put some copper grease on your wheel nuts when you put your wheel nuts back on. Pump the brake pedal a couple of times before you go driving anywhere, because you just got to push those pistons out and let everything recenter. If your sliders are seized, you could put some more grease on that. This is just a very super quick video. But everything seemed alright. Our sliders were good. Our bellows are good. The disc probably won't replace in, but we'll save that for another time. But there you go. Good luck with that.